Hey, Reseller Clickbait Podcast, episode 109. I'm here with Ken, SSKPromo,
What's
DOG,
up?
and myself, Cory from Grabs Bob's Vintage. How you doing today, Ken?
I am good. It's a good day, good
That was a,
productive
that was a very
day.
low energy intro, wasn't it?
It was pretty.
I,
Most of
I
your
was bored
intros are.
myself.
We're already bored. Yeah, I had a good productive day. I mean, I had to do stuff like lawn work, and I had to run the weed eater, the weed whacker for. Yeah, I hadn't done it for a few mowings, and the edges were kind of getting out of hand, and
We don't.
so got that
We
done. And
usually skip that for a few rounds too. That's when we run the weed whacker out here. Like for the next day, you're like you're still shaking
yeah,
because you're just having your hands for so long.
I'm
There's so
like
much
I'm
to weed eat here.
I'm old. It's like all I did, my weed eater has like a strap on it. We can talk about that later. It has like a strap over the thing, so you're not carrying the whole weight of it the whole time. And but still, I don't know what I did, but my shoulder is killing me right
Well,
now.
that's a giant vibrator,
It
vibrating thing.
vibrating tool.
It
It's
does though. The vibrations actually, after a while, your hands go numb and
yeah,
your arms hurt. And
yeah. My wrist is. I'm just I'm just
I hate
old.
the weed eater. We
I
do.
Yeah,
We
it's
we
not my
got a push
favorite
one though.
task.
Teresa uses the push one. We have a push weed eater.
A
Have you seen those?
push? No, I have
Yeah,
not.
it's like a push lawnmower, but it's triangle shaped, and the little weed eater part is up front.
Oh, like almost like a little mini bush hog sort of thing. Just
Kind
not
of,
like
but it's just uses weed eater string. It's just like a 12-inch piece of string you put in it and bends in half, and
yeah,
then you start it like a regular lawnmower. And she uses that one.
yeah. That's what my weed eater has. Well, you can either do the like the bump feed, like you bump
That's
it, it
what
feeds out
ours
some
is.
more line, or you can have like the individual cut strips and put those in. And I had changed over to use just the strips, and I think I'm going to change back to the bump
I
feed
just need to
because it
put a
seems
saw
like
blade on
it
mine.
seems
I'm
like
sick of
as soon
changing
as I get
string.
yeah, as soon as I get to the farthest part of the yard,
Yep.
it's like I have to walk all the way back. And I have like a little the one that I have has like a little electric starter that like you put in the back of it and it cranks the motor so I don't have to pull the string. And
Really?
so yeah. Oh, I'm knocking stuff over here. So yeah. So I don't so every time I go back to the garage, then I just it's easy to start then. I just put that little unit in the back of it and then there we go. But
That's interesting. I
so
need one of those. You could probably just
so
use a drill if you had one of that.
uh yeah, if you yeah, I don't know what the
Going back to the
bit
old hand
is.
crank cars.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to know if a drill would work in it or not.
I
I
know why
never
not. You just got to turn it around long enough for it to kick off.
yeah. Boy, that's exciting kickoff to the show.
Yeah, there you go. Lawn maintenance 101.
So yeah, other than that, I was just busy prepping for I'm doing my first raid train, hosting my first raid train on Whatnot, which will be like tomorrow night. It will already be over by the time this comes out. Christmas in July, raid train going to be real festive and fun, and I'm looking forward to that to see how it goes actually hosting one. I worked down at the storage units again today, just trying to get some more stuff
Well,
sorted and cleaned out, and
other than organizing and get everybody in line for the raid train, once
yeah.
it starts, you don't. There's really nothing to host, right? Like it just goes.
Well, yeah, it just goes by itself, but you will, I think, as the host, you are a moderator as well in people's shows, or
Oh,
you ask for them to put you as a moderator, and you just kind of help, throw in links and prompt people to follow the people that are actually doing the show, or help out like if they get pre bids, or if somebody requests something in that to run something in the chat that they've missed, just kind of help them out with the show, and so we will be what Jill and I will start. We're going to start it off, and we're going to do 30 minutes, and then they're 30-minute segments, and then when we get up to like 7:30 that evening, we'll actually do our show. So hopefully, I'll have good things to report next week that it went good. And
Sorry,
what's got,
I'm being very helpful on the podcast right now.
what's got your attention there on the phone?
I got permission to spend money, so I wanted to spend it fast before
Oh,
someone took that permission
what are you
away.
buying? What are you buying? What are you buying? What are you buying? I want to know. I want to know. I want to know.
I bought a whole bunch. Well, you can't see it very well. I bought a whole bunch of sew on patches, old Firestone and Budweiser and Amoco and
Okay.
all kinds of sew on vintage patches.
Like a Facebook Marketplace or what? Where
No,
or an eBay?
I bought them off the new Kevin's new platform, the Commons.
Oh, I heard
that.
Okay. I'd seen you had told me something about it the other day when we were talking, and then I saw the RIN guys had a video come out, which it came out just a little bit before we started recording here, so I haven't watched it yet. So I don't know anything about it. So I know that Kevin Commonwealth Picker started something up on District, and that's pretty much about all that I know.
When I saw him talking about it, my first thought was great, another District platform. That's kind of if I'm being honest, when I saw him spin it up, I was like, oh great, here's another District platform popping up over there. But once I listened to I actually heard about it on RIN from their video. Okay. And by the time they got to the end of the video, I was sold. I was excited to get on and start playing. So it's it's not a direct to consumer platform. It's a reseller to reseller platform. So I say platform. It's a marketplace within District. So you're supposed to be like you and I, like this reseller that just sold me these. They have a whole 200 patches, loose patches, the sew on patches. They don't want to sort through them. They don't want to deal with them. They're worth $400 to $500 if you sell them individually and list them individually on eBay. Okay. But he's willing to just sell them at wholesale price to get rid of them all at once, so you don't have to do it. So I just bought them up for $200.
Okay.
So that's that's the spirit of the platform right there in a nutshell.
You said it's reseller to reseller. Do you have to prove that you're a reseller, or just anybody can really buy it if they want? So just a general somebody that was looking for, say, patches that you just bought, anybody could go buy them.
You could. I mean, chances are not very good because they're not selling individual items. So if it the normal consumer is probably more interested in one of those patches or 6 of those patches, not 200 of those patches.
Okay.
So I think it kind of self-filters. Like we've sold since today's Thursday, since Tuesday evening, we listed our first item over there. I think we've sold 9 sales over there now for a little over $300.
So it's actually up and running. I just saw the video.
It's running as of yesterday. Yeah, as of Wednesday, it was officially running.
And you've already sold nine different lots of things. Tell me something like that you would. What are you putting on there?
Well, what's the first thing that comes into your, as a reseller? What's the first thing that comes into your head when you think of costume jewelry?
What's the first thing I think of?
Yeah,
it's not costume jewelry.
The first thing I think of is, I'm not sorting through that crap.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. When you say costume jewelry, because I would not even look into that or buy it, or I suppose.
But we had from estate sales and locker storage buyouts, and early on when we bought the jars of jewelry from Goodwill so that we could try to find the gold and the silver and all that. Okay. We had a tote of jewelry. So we just sorted it all out, and we did 75 bracelets as a lot. Whatever would fit in the size box I wanted to ship and keep the weight down. So we did 75 bracelets, and we put a lot up there, and 45 minutes they were gone. We did the same thing. We got matching sets of earrings, and we put up a whole bunch of earrings as a lot. They were gone. The pins, like lapel pins and stuff. Okay. Initially, those were kind of fun because you can get $10-15 a piece for those if you individually list them out. But we just had a bucket of them.
Are there so you can sell there? You can sell any sort of product because you just said jewelry and you said patches. You can sell anything that you CDs, want. Is there
anything? That's
interesting.
The only requirement they have is you have to. There's no mystery boxes. You can't do any of that crap. You have to show the value. You actually have to post a video when you make the listing. You don't even have to put pictures, but you have to have a video showing the product.
Showing. Okay.
And it has to be something that will sell, and it has to have enough value left. It has to have enough meat left on the bone for a reseller to resell it. It's a wholesale platform. Those are the rules. Now, they just started yesterday. It's kind of the Wild West over there. And you do have a lot of listings that don't meet those requirements. You have a lot of people that are posting stuff that has zero sell-through rate. You have a lot of people that are posting stuff that they're asking eBay. I just saw one posting go on last night for like 12 trucker hats, like normal trucker hats, and they're asking like $160 for it. Like,
oh, really?
There's no meat left on the bone, and they're not good hats. I mean, they're like Ace Hardware hats. They're not something you're going to be able to.
So they're trying to get lot, like full pricing on a lot rather than, because a lot of times in the trucker hats you're buying those for 50 cents, a buck, $2, tops. And so if you had a lot of 16, you might have 16 to $30 in them, and they're wanting 100. Okay, so in that instance, let's just say the hats. You were doing 20 hats and you had $20 in them, but they might have a value of 200. You're probably expected to sell those around what, like $50 or something. You make a little bit, give the buyer that wants to list them all a chance. Or
I've been doing 30% or less of eBay value is where I've been marking mine. Now you're free to price wherever you want. The spirit of the platform is you price it so you leave meat on the bone for the other reseller that's buying it. That's what it's for.
Okay. And well, that's cool.
Like I said, you're free to price it where you want, but I think the reason when you go there right now, you start looking at the listings and you're like, this stuff is overpriced, or this stuff doesn't sell, it's garbage. And that's because the stuff that sells, when somebody puts it on there and it has value and it sells well, it sells fast. Like there's been so many things on and off of that platform already that have sold. So like I'm constantly just refreshing my phone because there's just, I think we've spent as much as we've sold over there, but we're buying, instead of buying 5 tie clips, for example, we bought 100 of them all at once. So I don't have to pay $1 a piece. I'm willing to pay $3 a piece for them because I'm getting a whole big lot of them I could process when I get here. So I'm paying up a little bit, but there's still lots of meat left on the bone.
So you bought a lot of tie clips, and so those came up, and you saw it real quick, and you made a decision, and you
that came from a different part of the. There's a community thread on there for what are you looking for, and somebody asked, would anybody be interested in like tie clips or cufflinks? Okay, and I said, yeah, I probably would. Basically, I would if the price is right because we do sell those.
Yeah.
And within a day, there was 2 postings up for tie clips and cufflinks, and we bought them both.
Okay. Hey, so I got a bunch of...
It's a fun platform. It's a really cool platform. I think because it's in such an infancy right now, it's so new. There's so many people that don't understand what you're supposed to post there.
Okay.
And those listings won't sell. The ones they're posting like that are overpriced or they're junk that literally has zero sell-through rate on eBay. Like that stuff's not going to sell. And eventually it'll just go away and people kind of adjust in. But there's been some amazing deals on there already.
And you said Kevin Commonwealth. Shout out to Kevin Commonwealth is running this. What is it like if I want to go look at it? Because I'm on District. I haven't done anything on District, but
it is shopcommons.net. That's where you can go and it'll take you there.
Okay. Well, I'm going to check it out because that sounds.
And you can apply to be a seller or buyer. And I'm not giving you an affiliate link or anything. I don't have anything. I'm not affiliated with the site. Actually, you know me and how rough I am with other platforms. Like I wanted to hate this one. Teresa's in the living room when I heard about it, and I was like, "Oh crap, another one!" Like I genuinely wanted to hate this, but I couldn't. Like there is so much value there.
So it sounds like when people post something really good on Facebook Marketplace, if you're not there when it's posted, if it's a good price, you got to snatch it up quick or claim it or whatever. Well, I want to check that out.
I think long term the question is going to be how well can they moderate it?
Okay.
Can they keep those posts that are obviously not within the guidelines of what it's supposed to be? Can they keep those off of it, or can they get them off of it fast enough not to have people show up and look at them and say, okay, this is like a dumping ground for garbage that resellers want to get rid of. As soon as it gets that vibe to it, or as soon as it gets that reputation, it'll kill it. But right now, like if you're willing to hang out and refresh a few times and watch, there's been some killer deals on there. I know we've given killer deals on there. I think we have 10 listings on there right now, and every one of them, if you bought them and you were into that kind of thing, you'll make money on.
Yeah. Well, that is interesting. You want to buy a bunch of neckties to go with your tie clips? I got
Teresa might. She's bought a bag of ties today.
I got a bunch of bags of ties. I had made a deal at Saint Vincent de Paul, thrift store place. Yeah. And then Jill had done some stuff where she was doing some crafty things with ties at one time, because I was actually going to list a lot of these ties in groups of like 25 or 50 or whatever, or by the pound.
The same project with the bowling balls? Are these related, or?
No, not with the bowling ball project. Now, Jill always has some project in mind, and then she goes and buys everything. She buys all of it, and then it just sits. So here, it's been a little while recently.
Yeah, she just recently, like in the last week, decided that, well, we bought those Christmas ties from you on your Whatnot show.
Yeah.
And she started going through them, and they were like, and she was like, they actually, some of these ties actually do have value.
Yeah.
So she started looking into it, and she's like, I think I'm going to start buying up a bunch of ties and just learn about them. So she's willing to put out a little bit of money just to learn about it. And if we make money, great. If we don't, if it's something that she's like, there's money here, but we absolutely hate ties, we're not going to do it. Yeah, I'd lot them up and put them on the comments.
Yeah, I'll have to. Maybe I'll look into that. Somebody's dealing ties, and I've got, I don't know. There's every type of tie in there: wide ties, skinny ties, 100% silk. There's just about everything that's in there, and I got, I don't know, 400 or 500 plus maybe ties. I don't even know what's out there. Yeah. What I would like to have is the tubs, the plastic tubs they're all bagged up. Most of them are already counted and in plastic bags in tubs. And I just love to get the tubs back. So
you need to
I don't know if that's a good item.
You need to find a box that's a decent sized box that you can ship as many in as possible without making the shipping crazy high. Like keep the shipping under $10 and see how many ties you can get in it and sell them in those size lots. And those are the perfect kind of lots for over there. And those are the kind of lots that are selling, honestly.
So I was going to list them on eBay as lots actually under crafting, because you see a lot of people that do tie projects with like silk ties and stuff, or different they use the material to do quilting squares and all of that sort of stuff. And so I was going to sell them in lots in a crafting category rather than for men, men's ties to use. I did pull out a grouping of them that as I was going through them, I would see like some different brands that, these ones have a little bit of value to it, where for the low cost that I have in them, all I would have to do was sell 2 or 3 ties, and that pays for the whole entire lot. But yeah, I'll look into that. Well, that's pretty cool. Now, so it's another district. It's a district thing. So if Kevin set this up, Kevin gets a kick of your sale along with district gets a kick of their sale. Okay. Because
yesterday was the launch. Yesterday was launch day. So Wednesday was launch day. So they did a whole day of no fees, which was great, because that's when I sold I sold about half my stuff the day before launch day. Okay. Just from other sellers listing and also buying at the same time.
Yeah.
But now I think it's 8%, which means district actually gets like 5%.
Okay.
I believe is the standard arrangement. I don't know if that's the arrangement they have, but I think district probably gets about 5% and Kevin gets 3 or something like that. Okay. Either way, it's still cheaper than eBay for the seller and the buyer.
Yeah. Which I have no problem with that. Someone else did the work. Someone else put in the effort, did the work, and they should get.
Well, they're promoting it, not me. So, well, I guess today I am. Not at the level they're promoting it, for sure.
Yeah. Well, and like you said earlier, we don't have anything. You don't have any interest. No. You're not getting anything.
The only interest I have in it. I mean, honestly, the only interest I have in it is I really want it to be there for sourcing for me. Like selfishly, I want it to work.
Yeah.
Because the deals that are showing up that are good deals are phenomenal deals. Like I can source a pickup load of one type of item all from one place. Like those bulk buys, the multi quantities, the stuff like that you always want to find and never do. That's the kind of deals that are being prepackaged and made over there.
Okay.
And that's, so it's completely selfish on my part. I want it to work.
It's a great idea. And then I would assume if it goes well, there'll be a lot of copycat sites come up, or there's already, it's not like new revelation. There's all kinds of sites. There's all kinds of places where you can buy wholesale stuff or lots of things, but this just is a new platform,
I think
new direction that
the success or the failure of it's going to completely depend on the people that come and use it, rather they're buying or selling.
Yeah.
The sellers that come over there have a lot of control in terms of whether or not it works. If you're not bringing good stuff and you're not giving decent prices, then it's going to tank.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple.
And that's reselling 101 right there.
Yep.
Get us, get something.
And you're selling to resellers, not end users. So it takes a little bit to get it. As resellers, we're notoriously cheap, so we don't want to pay anything. But we also think the stuff we have is worth a fortune, so we don't want to let it go for less than it's worth. So it's a real tough thing to get resellers to let go of stuff with meat on the bone.
Yes.
Oh, so that's going to be a challenge for them.
Yes. And that's interesting. I'm definitely going to check it out. I hadn't, like I said, I saw the video stuff come up from the REN guys, but hadn't checked it out. Just
it'll be a fun ride for them.
Haven't watched much content lately. Just busy with, you got that time to be outside and getting stuff done and
well, you were over in your we went garage selling. Thursdays are our garage sale days, so we didn't. Yeah, I begrudgingly went garage selling today because there was. Teresa usually looks up the garage sales the night before. There was 6, and we have to drive an hour to go to garage sales.
Yeah.
But it's also our day to go hang out with one of the grandbabies. We go every Thursday and we garage sale all day, and then we hang out with the grandbaby. Okay. So there was 6 sales. I was like, man, why are we even going? But we didn't do too bad on those. I think one of the sales, probably the 3rd or 4th sale we hit, we found a whole clothing rack full of was it 4XL Carhartt stuff.
Oh, really?
So really big size and all Carhartt. So we bought up a ton of that, and then that same sale outside their garage door, they had a whole bag full of Nike golf clubs. So we snatched that up too. Yep. And they're in good shape. I mean, they were decent, nice shaped clubs. We looked a few of them up. Anywhere between $20 to $40 a club is what they were selling for. Nice. And they had a decent sell-through rate. So I think we made it worth it at that one sale.
I was showing on my Ken versus 10 the other day. I'd found a set of ping irons.
I saw that.
It wasn't the full. I think it was missing 2 of the clubs. And so I'm still trying to decide. Well, I'm not trying to decide. I have to put in the work of looking up. Am I better to sell the clubs that I have as that set? Am I better to sell individual clubs that are higher dollar? Or is the wedge or the 9 or 7 or something, or sell the long irons as a set? So I still have to do the effort, do the work, but not a bad find.
We learned a valuable lesson with our golf buying stuff. Now when we go out and we buy stuff, I have a Nike golf bag to go with some of those Nike clubs, but it's going directly in the dumpster. I ain't even playing with it again. Why? I'll sell the clubs because the first time you send out a giant golf bag and some jerk gets it and says, I need to return this, and you have to pay shipping both ways on that monster. Oh, you're like, nope, gotcha. I'm not doing golf bags anymore. Gotcha. It's that's it. Yeah, I have golf bags go in the garbage. Golf clubs get listed.
I have a few golf bags. Why don't you sell it on Marketplace? Is it in decent shape? A Nike
to the other 6 people in South Dakota? I bought it from one of them.
Oh yeah, I guess that's not the big golfing mecca up there in South Dakota. I can't. What's the one, the golfing trail that's over in the Carolinas and stuff? There's all these different golf courses.
I'm just thinking Oregon Trail, but that ain't it.
No, it's not the Oregon Trail. Now it makes me the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. That's what it was called.
Okay. There's a whole golf trail. You just golf along the way.
You just keep. Yeah. There's lots of courses and they're all part of the same something like that. I've never been over there.
Yeah, you could play one here, but if you want to keep playing through, you're gonna have to play through several cornfields and a cow pasture or two to get to the next.
I haven't been golfing for a while. Oh, the pings that I found too, they were left-handed. That's something I forgot. They were left-handed set. Yep. And so those usually get a couple of extra bucks in left-handed set. So
and they should. Us left-handers, we demand quality.
Yes. How's that going? How's that going for you, Cory? Being a newly found left-hander.
I haven't found any clubs I can join yet.
Okay.
I want to find some support groups. I haven't found any, but so far it's okay. Sometimes I forget that I'm left-handed and I start doing things right-handed, but I catch myself. I'm working on it.
And your prison finger or your poison finger.
He just said my prison finger.
How's your prison finger?
I don't know what that means, but it don't sound right.
It does not. Finger. Your poison finger that prompted you to be a lefty. That was a goofy conversation.
Well, not as goofy as my prison finger.
So you found Carhartts today. 4X, that's great to find those sizes. Yep. I got a pile of Carhartts right back down here. I found a Carhartt jacket in Carhartt coat, I would say, in the unit, but it was beyond wanting to bring home. And I know that you've talked before about, kind of the cruddier that some of them can get. People will still buy them.
The jackets, I don't think it matters what's on it.
Yeah. Again, this one I didn't even want to bring home. I'm finding a lot of like the clothing and stuff, the mice have gotten to stuff first. It's just been sitting in cardboard boxes forever, and everything just stinks, and I'm not even dealing with. I have pulled out a few pieces. I pulled out a really cool Ohio State coat today. It has like Ohio State logos. It's like an all over print. It has like Brutus Buckeye and stuff on it, and it has and it's like a winter coat, and it has the fuzzy, the shepherd lining, or what is that? No, Sherpa, yeah, shepherd lining. Shepherd,
got a sheep herder in there.
It's got the Sherpa lining in it. Pretty. It needs a bath, but I thought I'd take a chance. I'll throw it in the washer. I'll wash it up. If it comes out, great. If it doesn't,
what size was it?
No big. It's at least an extra large.
I know everybody says sell the big stuff. So when we saw the 4X stuff and it was Carhartt stuff, we jumped on it. Have you played with much of the large clothing sizes? Have you had any experience with that?
Any time if I am at a sale, most of the time I pass over the clothing. I don't really want to be a clothing seller, but I'll take a quick look. Yeah, well, one of the things I always look for, if I find larger size, like Hawaiian print shirts and stuff, big guys for some reason seem to like to wear Hawaiian print shirts. Yes, I've been saving them all for you.
You know what that shirt is, right? That shirt's a flag. That's like the national flag for fat guys that just gave up. We don't fit in t-shirts anymore. That's our way of just saying screw it. We can get in a button up or button down.
Anytime I see 3X, especially a 4X, a 5X, and not just Hawaiian shirts, but in clothing that's good size, I have a tendency more to want to pick that up. And it usually what happens is it comes and it gets put in a tub or something like that, because I don't feel like photographing and listing and measuring and all of that stuff. But the stuff that I have that I've actually listed, I don't have any currently listed because everything has sold. That was a larger size.
That's good to know.
So
we passed on a bunch last summer about this time. We passed on a bunch of 5X. There was a whole rack full of, like one of the circle racks full of 5X jerseys. And they were all jerseys. They were all 5X, but they wanted like 10, 15 bucks a piece for them. We were just like, nope, not paying it. And now I'm thinking maybe we should have taken a better look at them.
Yeah, but a lot of times in jerseys, if they're like, NFL or were they like football jerseys and stuff?
Yeah.
A lot of times those jerseys run bigger anyway, just because if they're a true jersey, they got to get over all the pads and all of that stuff. So people that are just wearing them for fashion are not necessarily always going to want And I may be off on that. Like I say, I'm not a clothing seller.
Yeah, we'll see how we do on the. I mean, if the large size is like these 4X Carhartts, if they sell well,
yeah.
And the only ones we took are ones that were in like almost new shape. Matter of fact,
I think coats or what kind of?
Still. No, they were long sleeve shirts. They were like almost like hoodies. There was a few like half zip pullovers. So they were all like Carhartts, but they were all different styles of shirt.
Yeah, I was just trying to see what I could see on a search real quick, but not. It's so hard. I just put in like 4XL Carhartt hoodie, and 30, 40 bucks, 60, 80, depends on what, the condition and stuff like that. So,
if we can average 20, I'd be tickled.
Yeah. Oh, I think you're going to average at least 20. At least 20.
Yeah, we'd do really well if we could average 20. And you combine that with the golf clubs we picked up at the same sale. I mean, we're going to do fine. There's probably $150, $200 worth of golf clubs that are there. And I did comp those, so I know exactly where they're at.
Yeah. So not bad for only having 6 sales. And you got to see the grandbaby, right? The grandbaby was home today. And
we did.
Got to hang out.
And I got the best gift from her ever. I go to hand her off to Graham so I could go to the restroom, and she immediately started crying. She likes her pops. So that's the best feeling ever. And it just drives Teresa crazy.
She's scared of grandma, or just she scared of grandma, or she just prefers pops? Okay. Yep. All right. How old is she's just not even a year yet, right?
Well, she is. Both of them are over a year now. We have one that just turned a year and one that's like a year and a half.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you were saying that in a previous episode that was 1 year, 1 year old birthday party.
Just about she's just getting ready to move into her terrible twos where I could really start corrupting her.
Yes.
Between 2 and 5, we got to solidify a few bad habits, and we'll be working on.
So, yeah.
Got my sounded out curse word book already.
Sounded out curse word. You need to get one that's a picture book. It
is.
Curse word picture book. Sounded out phonetically. Get a speak and spell. Get you a speak and spell and just modify it so it just has have a different curse word for A is for ass. B is for.
I'll just send her a different short every day. I'll just send her a different video of me teaching her. We'll raise them right.
There you go. Little South Dakota charm there.
It's been a crazy week. Other than that, we've just been packing. We've had a ton of sales.
Oh, your sales are good? Good.
Sales are crazy this week.
Yeah. Everybody talks about the summer slowdown stuff, and I think that's
not slowing.
I think it's a lot of it is effort that you can't just go, well, it's slow and not do something or try something. Or
do you think part of it is the summer slowdown is we hit summertime and we're like, oh, I don't want to do as much. I'm not stuck in the house 24/7. I want to go out and do things.
Guilty.
I think that's
here. Yes.
That's a good chunk of the summer slowdown. I think is just we slow down as people. We want to go do things and travel and go mow the yard or golf nobody wants to mow the yard. That's ridiculous, but we have to mow the yard.
Yes. I just don't bitch about it. I know everything in my reselling business or whatever, that there are some factors that you can't control, but most of them you can control. And anything, if my sales are slow, it's usually self-inflicted. I have not put in the effort or tried something different.
According to my bank account, I don't spend less money in the summertime. I'm still spending plenty of money. So the money is still getting spent out there. I believe that. It might get spent in different ways, in different areas, but I think the money's still getting spent. So if the summer slows down, then that might be on us.
Yeah, I say it is. You got to have that ice cream budget.
Oh, the ice cream budget. That's a wintertime thing too. I don't slow down my ice cream consumption in the winter.
Well, I'm talking going not going to the store and buying a gallon of ice cream. I'm talking going down to the local ice cream shop. How much you buy the big 5-gallon pail? I
don't buy ice cream from the store.
Okay.
I'm a soft serve guy. It has to be soft serve ice cream, and it has to be directly out of the machine.
Okay.
So it's a drive-through situation. That's the way you eat ice cream.
So you're going to what you got, McDonald's or you got Dairy Queen? or
Well,
to get a
McDonald's, but
self-serve
theirs
ice
is
cream.
always broke. We have Dairy Queen in town, but they're starting to they're gonna get a sternly written letter from me if they don't figure out their ice cream machine pretty soon. Our Dairy Queen, when you go through and you get ice cream now, it's fluffier than it used to be. It's almost like whipped cream now. It's like really airy and fluffy. I don't know what they're doing different, or if they're just saving money by giving you like half air.
But yeah, that's probably it. That's
I'm gonna have
probably
to talk to management because like I've noticed it's not good.
I haven't been to Dairy Queen. Well, Jill and I had went to Dairy Queen there back in June when we went up to the citywide sale, because that was the prize for her winning, was to go to the Dairy Queen. But going to the local ice cream shop just right around the corner, which is really cool. It's close. Oh, but every now and then they have, not everybody knows this. So if anybody locally is listening to me, don't pay any attention to this. They have what they call the mistake bucket. Okay. And anytime like if people order like a milkshake, or if they make something wrong, they make, I was supposed to get a strawberry milkshake and they get something wrong, or I was supposed to have this type of cone, they put that ice cream, it hasn't been eaten or tasted or anything by the person. They just put it in a bucket, like 2-gallon bucket or gallon bucket or whatever that they have, and they keep it in the freezer, and then they sell them for like $5. If it's kind of like you knock on the back door and you go, hey, give me one of those steak buckets. Not many people know about that, but you can get a mistake bucket. So it's just going to be all kinds of flavors, all kinds of.
Do they mix it all up?
Well, they don't intentionally mix it all up. They just dump all the ice cream they don't put like the cones and stuff in there.
So it's a big mixer.
Yeah, but it's like, so as you're eating through it, you might, this one might have cherry ice cream and stuff, and then over here you've got, that was a chocolate vanilla twist cone or something. But the cones aren't in there. It's just a big bucket of ice cream with all different kind of flavors. You might run across some nuts or some bananas or
they don't
whatever.
show you the bucket when you go through because it says the diabetes bucket on the side.
Yeah. And this place doesn't have a drive-through. This is one of the ice cream where you have to stand out front. You walk up, that's just 2 walk-up windows.
You guys have Freddy's there? Do you have a Freddy's?
Fridays?
Freddy's.
Well, we do have Freddy's ice cream, but it's a local guy. It's a local ice cream shop. Okay. It's not.
We have a Freddy's here that it's only been here a year or two.
Okay.
I went the first time in Omaha, and then we have a couple that just showed up here in the last year or so. Their ice cream is pretty good. Like every time I go in there, even after eating a meal, I want to have an ice cream on the way out. But I've been on a chocolate sundae with chopped peanuts kick lately from Dairy Queen.
Okay.
But their ice cream has been less than spectacular. So spectacular. It's been not great. So I have to go complain.
I was just looking up to see when the place is called the Jersey. The Jersey, that's the ice cream place. I was looking to see when they were closed. I was looking at the time. They're closed now. Already, I was going to run down. I haven't had dinner yet.
We have a claim to fame here.
Okay.
Our Dairy Queen, if you know what Miracle Treat Day is, right? At Dairy Queen?
No.
You ever heard of that?
No.
It's a national thing that they do at all the Dairy Queens in the country. They have Miracle Treat Day where every blizzard that gets bought, they donate half the proceeds from that blizzard go to like cancer awareness, or it's something to do with cancer charity. They call it Miracle Treat Day.
Okay.
But Madison, South Dakota is actually, we've won the most blizzards sold on the Miracle Treat Day for like 4 or 5 years running in the whole country. Yep.
Well,
so we care here,
Madison, Wisconsin,
or we are just super fat. Not Wisconsin.
Wait, Madison sounds good.
We don't win much here. Don't take it away. This is literally one of the few things we have going for us in South Dakota.
Madison, Wisconsin, though.
They didn't win anything.
They probably did not. That's funny. That's the only. I guess I never really paid attention that Madison, South Dakota.
Yes.
I wonder if more people have probably heard of Madison, Wisconsin.
We run the escape room in Madison, South Dakota.
Okay.
And we get bookings from people in Madison, Wisconsin all the time that think we're there. And then like 10 minutes before they're supposed to show up, they're like, we thought you were in Wisconsin.
That
happens.
That's what happens for the people. I think I might have told this story before. In our local newspaper, because it's owned by a big conglomerate, and they do all of the news stuff, put it all together. We constantly get here in Marion, Ohio, if some people still take out an ad for a yard sale, garage sale, and Marion, Indiana falls in the jurisdiction of the newspaper that they do. So they're constantly misprinting Marion, Indiana yard sales in the newspaper.
Nice. Do you ever just roll up to one of them?
Oh, and they're
just go to Indiana?
I have not, but I should, because every time you're reading one, well, I don't get the newspaper, and I don't even read the local newspaper, but my folks do. And so my dad will look at that section and he'll say, oh, hey, look at this sale right here. And I'll like, where's that street? I don't know where that street. I know not every street in my town, but I know most all of them.
I love garage sales that print their stuff in the newspaper. Love it.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones they're not posting them on Facebook or anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's in a local paper, and when you roll up and you're the only one there, they're like, why isn't anybody showing up? You're like, I don't know. And
they're usually older people.
Yeah.
That think that that's still the way that you do it.
I love them.
Man, it's expensive too to put an ad in, sale ad.
They're paying like $30 to put an ad in.
It's ridiculous.
But no, we look at the classifieds. We don't buy the paper, but we do look at their online version of the classifieds.
Yeah.
And when we find somebody that's posting in the classifieds for a garage sale, we try to make it, because we know nobody else is going to be there.
Yeah.
Most people aren't looking at classifieds for garage sales, but yeah, it kind of makes me wonder a little bit on the Madison, Wisconsin thing. How often do they get bookings and the people call in? They're like, well, we thought you were in Madison, South Dakota. I bet that happens all the time.
From what you've said about, like, it's a small community that they're in Madison. I'm not sure how often that is happening.
Well, I'm gonna. Well,
Marion's
thinking it happens all the time.
But you said you were shipping out a bunch of stuff. Your sales are really good, and
yeah, we did our quarterly. Well, about 4 or 5 times a year, we kick off our discount sales, like our big discount sales based on how long stuff has been sitting.
Okay.
So anything over 90 days will go on like a 20% discount. Anything over 6 months is like 30. Anything over 9 months is like 40. And anything that's been in for over a year is like 45% off.
Okay.
So they're pretty steep sales, but we go through them. If it's something seasonal, we don't put it on the sale. If it's something that's a high ticket, long tail item, we take it off sale. But for the most part, it's all time based.
Okay.
And we usually do pretty good with those sales, but this time we actually, once we set the sales up, we came back in the next day, and we hit the newsletter. Have you seen the newsletter section in eBay where you send out a newsletter?
No, I have not. I didn't know that was a thing.
Once we have the sales set up, we could actually go push out a newsletter to all of our watchers, watchers and followers and past customers. So it was like 4,000 people we could send a newsletter out to.
Okay.
So we put the sales in the newsletter and sent it out, and sales just went crazy. Like our phones didn't stop for 4 days.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. I think we had like an $1,800 day the day after we pushed that newsletter. It was insane. Just constant
selling a lot of the items that were on sale.
Both.
Or both.
I think once they were in there, we sold a lot of multi-quantity. We did a lot of we did a lot of bundle orders. So they'd find something on sale, like they'd find a Littlest Pet Shop on sale, but then they'd buy 4 more that weren't.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of like packaging multiple items the next day. But we still, we had 40 some packages. I think like 40 orders on Monday. We had 20 the next day and 20 the next day, which isn't, we usually don't have 20 orders Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Yeah. It usually slows down during the week, but it didn't slow down this week. It just kept going.
So this is the store newsletter. I'm looking at my seller hub. I'm looking at my seller hub on eBay. And if you go under the tab that says store, there's one that it says store newsletter.
That's it.
And let me see, campaigns. nurture conversion, loyalty brings repeat customers, customer relationships are key. And then there's different campaigns. So you can create a campaign. I'm just going to push the button, not that I'm going to do it. So it looks like you got some choices of welcome. You can do like a welcome to new subscribers.
That's just for new subscribers.
New products and collections. Highlight your latest and greatest inventory. And then you have the coupon section. Stand out by sending coupons. Oh, there's others. A sale event, order discounts, and volume pricing.
The sale event is the one we did, and it lets you send it out to pretty much everybody that you're able to send it to. That lets you send to the most amount of people.
Okay. Yeah, I have done this with coupons, coupons before sending it to people, but I've not done it. So you can select recipients.
I guess
recent buyers.
I can't give all the credit to this because I'm not sure what did it, like what we got the most from. But we did the sale events in stages like that with staged up discounts depending on how long it's been in the store. We sent out the newsletter to just over 4,000 people. And then we also reconnected our social media, our Instagram and our Facebook to eBay because it was broken for quite a while where it just wouldn't connect. But we tried again and it did reconnect. So then we shared those sales out on our Instagram and our Facebook as well.
Okay.
So it was just a combination with we sent it everywhere. So what worked and what didn't, I'm not sure, but it all together kept us busy for a week straight.
Wow, heck,
we cleared a lot of inventory.
Kind of busy. Yeah, that's I'll have to look into that. Well, that's kind of what I was saying. I mean, even though you normally do your sale thing, your 30, 60, 90 days or plus around this time, it is something, you did something different. You tried something new. You clicked on the newsletter thing. Let's see what it is. That you went to you got back in and reconnected the Facebook and the stuff like that so that you could, advertise or get the word out. And
we do that same sale about every quarter, at least every quarter. It does not usually perform that well. It usually performs okay, but it doesn't usually perform that well. So we were actually surprised. And I don't know if it was a newsletter, if it was the social media shares on Instagram and Facebook, or if it was a combination of everything. But it outperformed every sale we've done like that by a fair margin.
Being a guy that likes to track that stuff, Corey, I'm surprised it's not driving you nuts that you don't know which of those.
It does a little bit.
Is there any way?
Did everything at once.
Is there? So there's no data or whatever. Of course, you're not going to tell whether people came from the Facebook post or whatever.
But honestly, if you're going to have
click on the link,
if you're going to have a big sale, why would you not advertise that sale in every spot you could?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to do it all at once. So I think I'll just do it all at once every time I do the sale.
Well, yeah.
It makes sense to tell the world
if you're doing
have a sale.
If you're doing that good, an $1,800 day in July and right after the sale, hell yeah. That's I did see your Instagram where you guys were Teresa was printing out label after label after label, and you were scanning down it's on this table, it's on this table, it's up on this show, all of the packages that you guys
we did 2 of those videos.
Cool. Good.
But we had 4 days straight of that kind of shipping. And it's starting to kind of trail off a little bit now. The sale ends next week. I think usually right towards the end of the sale, the last 2-3 days of the sale, we'll get really busy again. So we'll see how it goes. But we certainly cleared out a lot of tubs.
How long did you run the sale for?
2 weeks.
For 2 weeks. Okay.
We usually run them for 2 weeks. And then we won't do it again for another quarter.
Okay. Do you find it's better to run those sales towards the beginning of the month, towards the end of the month, in the middle? Have you ever thought about that?
We haven't really played with it. I try to remember to run them. Every time I remember to go use my store coupon to buy boxes, I try to set up a sale.
Yes.
That's how I remember to do them.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to forget to do it once a quarter, and I want to make sure that I keep trying to clear that old inventory out. So every time I use a store coupon, I run the sale. But probably beginning of the month is when I would run it.
I need to get some boxes too. I need to remember to use my coupon. I got to see. I was looking yesterday, or the last 2 days were Prime Day, Amazon Prime Day. So I was looking to see if any of the boxes and stuff that I would use from time to time were on Amazon Prime Days, and I just didn't feel like looking, because I keep waiting to see. There was all that hubbub that Amazon or USPS might be having ground advantage boxes. I don't know if that's a thing. We talked about that last week, and I said that the USPS site was going to have maintenance, and that like maybe by the next morning. But there was nothing new on there. Actually, I need to order some priority mail, but I'm going to write a note right here on my.
Do you use priority for Whatnot?
Yes.
I noticed like one of my Whatnot packages from you came in a priority box.
Yes.
I don't remember the last time I shipped anything priority. Like, I honestly don't remember the last time.
I have that set up so that anything that's over, like your box would have been over 5 pounds because you bought those couple of heavy
bunch of shirts
or sweaters or stuff, and the ties, and I don't know, you bought, half dozen things or something. And I have it set up. If it's less than a pound, that's going to go ground advantage. Anything, but then I have anything over a pound, obviously, is going to go, between 1 and 5 pounds is priority mail. And then you can make a choice whether you want over 5 pounds to be priority or ground advantage or whatever. I just do everything.
You give to your buyers.
It's the options that you set up for your show.
Right.
The buyers don't get an option of how they want something shipped. And when I set it up with the priority mail, basically just so that I can use their free boxes. I use a lot of the number 7s.
You could throw them free boxes in a burn pile and still save money. If next time you're on eBay and you're getting ready to ship a bunch of stuff, look at the prices for the different options. UPS has been crushing, not USPS. UPS has been crushing everyone. Even on like small boxes and stuff. Like UPS is beating everybody by like $1 or $2 on almost every box we send out.
Oh, really?
We could ship over half of our packages UPS and save money. I mean, they're just killing USPS lately.
I will have to kind of make note of that.
I was shocked because we started looking into it I think we heard somebody else in the community. It might have been Dave that said he was seeing it a lot. ADHD.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we started. So I told Teresa, next time you pull up shipping, look and see what the tiers are. See what our costs are with different things.
Well, I always check that a lot because I
was killing them.
I send out things. I still send things priority where I upgrade people to priority, just because it doesn't. The buyer has paid enough to still cover. They paid for the ground advantage, but it's still over. They've paid me more than what the priority is worth if it's close. Now, if it's going out west or whatever, that doesn't count. It's still going to be cheaper. But if it's kind of in my region, it's usually just a little bit more to send it priority. So I will upgrade them and I'll use those free boxes.
UPS is an upgrade from ground advantage too, and it's been cheaper. So we're upgrading them and getting a discount on our shipping.
Well, good tip. I will.
Check it out when you do it. I think you'll see UPS has been doing. They're trying to be competitive lately.
Throw down in the comments if you have seen that as well. If you've seen UPS kind of rivaling.
Some people probably won't do it anyway because they don't want to make the trip to UPS, or they have somebody coming to pick up USPS and they don't want to make the trip. But we have to make a trip, and the post office and the UPS pickup are right next door to each other. Yeah. So it doesn't make any difference to us. We take all ours in anyway.
That's I'll have to look because that when I go to the postal store, they take UPS, FedEx, USPS, all of that. You said, speaking of the comments, I've noticed have you seen in the comments recently, people have been saying that the end of the episode is like it ends, like it cuts off.
I did see that.
And we looked at that, and it's actually something that happens, but you can correct it. If
the episode isn't cutting off, your video is cutting, like your player is cutting off.
Something like that. Yeah, but you can go into YouTube. If you go to YouTube, you can